Welcome everybody for Victim to Victor program at Pyramid Times today. And we have with us amazing guest Shravan Mahesh. Let me introduce little about our platform. Pyramid Times is an organization spreading new age spirituality, enlightened entrepreneurship, and also leadership wisdom. You can just go and subscribe to our channel. Shravan Mahesh has been associated with PSSM since 2004, and he had seen miraculous experiences during his meditation, and his willpower has significantly increased after meditation, and then achieved a lot of materialistic life using his enhanced willpower. He served as joint secretary of Paima Tirupati from 2005 to 2008, and he served as a cultural coordinator of Paima Chennai from 2009 to 2011. He then focused his energies on conducting past life regression sessions from 2011 onwards. So far, he has conducted hundreds of one-on-one sessions and over 50 workshops on past life regression in Andhra Pradesh, Maharashtra, Karnataka, and also in Vietnam. He is also serving as a trustee for Pyramid Dhyan Prachar Foundation, Pune, and has done many contributions to PSSM Guntakal, Nellore. He also sponsored many issues of Spiritual India and sponsored to first Dhyan Jagat Hindi magazine. He has founded a company named Swamevaham Consulting Private Limited. The name of the company was born from his interaction with Lord Shiva in one of his meditational experiences. When he met Shiva astrally, he asked for liberation and want to reunite with Shiva, for which Shiva replied, "You will join into me, and you are me." This "you are me" has been the main core principle of his company, Swamevaham, and his mission was to facilitate this realization among people. He conducts many workshops based on inner child healing, family constellation, purpose of life, regression, including business and technical workshops. More details about Shravan Mahesh can be got from his website, www.shravanmahesh.com. And during lockdown, he also started a venture called on-demand online learning platform called emultiversity.org, which is a now home for many spiritual healing and life transforming behavioral and technical courses. He has started writing a book called Victim to Victor, Mastering the Art of Self Transformation from 2006 onwards. This writing of the book was an adventurous journey, and he has rediscovered many spiritual truths from his meditation insights and personal experiences. He has written over 1500 quotes and still counting from his meditation thoughts since last 4 years. Victim to Victor is a pathway to self-transformation mastery which focuses on 12 stages of metamorphosis. This is a path to become a master and creator of our own destiny. With this, I welcome Shravan Mahesh to take over the session.
Thank you, Veena. Thank you very much for this beautiful introduction. We are going to explore a very unique subject which is very dear to my heart. And also, please like the Facebook page of Pyramid Times and also subscribe to this Pyramid Times YouTube channel. I also appreciate you for showing up on time and putting efforts to practice the teachings in workshops. Like I think most of the people are attending many workshops. Victim to Victor. Victim means the one who is having some issues and having some complaints. So this victim consciousness is what you call very inherent to human life. Like when we are born as a children, we are dependent on our parents. We are dependent on our caretakers to protect us. And even when we grow up, like we have a lot of dependencies and we have a lot of things where we are inherently becoming victims to life. The thing here is like, this victim consciousness. And in my life, I have been always fighting this because something or other comes in my life which makes me a victim. My earlier childhood, I was bullied a lot in my school. Even in my seventh standard, I think when I was around 12 years old, even I attempted a suicide. Even like as I grow up, I have been encountering many challenges in my life, and every now and then something or other comes in my life where I will again go back into my crying mode, like the helpless mode. I will become helpless. I will become uh, a victim of something or other. So that's how the life has been going on, and always I used to search for answers. I used to look for the solutions, like how can I overcome this problem, how can I get out of this problem. And one of the biggest issue in my life was the relationship with my parents, especially with my father, where I always felt like I have been controlled by him. And I tried to do many things in my life to overcome this challenge. Like uh, once in when I was around 22 years old, 22, 23 years old, I was working in Chennai as a software engineer, and I got attacked health issue, and I was appointed in hospital. Like there was some major surgery to happen, and I expected like someone will come to see me, and especially I expected a lot, like my relatives will come and see me and my parents will come and see me. uh, but to my surprise, like I had to undergo operation all alone. And this left a deep question in my mind. Like I thought, okay, maybe my parents don't know how to love, so instead I need to love them back. So what I did was like, how can I love my father back? So I thought like I will buy him a home. So then I bought him a home, uh, and still I did not. The reflection of love was not coming from him. uh, and I tried to do many things to please him. Uh, and this is how whole my life had been in this journey. Like I have been always trying to please him, and which again and again I'm getting into that the same mode where he's not getting pleased, and I'm again feeling bad for not impressing my father. So that's how I've been victimized again and again in my life. But also if we see the other side of it, like I have been more successful, and also I have earned a lot of money at very young age. I have been pretty successful in my career and also in business, but deep inside always this question was there, like how can I win love from my father. And that's how this whole journey had started. Like the victim to victor transformation had started. So during this journey there were lot many uh, times where I felt alone, I felt betrayed, I felt cheated, and also like there were situations where I could fight back those things, and I could also get some spiritual insights and truths, and also I could work on myself. I could go deeper into myself, and I could do some sessions on my own self. Like I practice inner child healing. I also did family constellations. I have undergone life between lives regression and tried to see soul contracts. And this is how the challenge, I was trying to overcome this challenge, and this is how this whole concept of victim to victor had been born. Like I have been trying to find the solution towards this, how to break through this pattern, how to overcome this challenge, and how to become a master of my own life. So that this question I was trying to solve using this journey. So before going ahead, I would like to share the whole blueprint of this. So this is the whole blueprint of this victim to victor uh, transformation mastery. If you see this, you are able to see my mouse movement.
Yes.
Yeah. So these four things, like acknowledge, surrender, transform, and phases. These four things, what I will call it as phases. And this is how our journey in this transformation mastery is going to happen. So first, in the first stage, what we are going to do is, whatever be our situation right now, So whether we are stuck in victim consciousness, or whether we are stuck in blame game mode, or whether we are stuck in self-doubt mode, so we are going to acknowledge those states completely. And this is very important. And most of the times we try to do compensation, we try to hide, we try to mask our own victim self. Like, what we will do is, there used to be one story which I heard in my childhood days. It's called Mekapotu Gambiriam. Mekapotu Gambiriam means one goat will be there and it will get lost from the herd, and it will get into a lion's den. And then what it does is, in order to escape this lion, this goat will try to act as if it's more powerful because of that night light. Its eyes will become brighter and it will try to frighten the lion. So, and then it frightens the lion. And most of the times we also do the same thing. So in order to hide the pain, we will wear the mask of anger. In order to hide the fear, we will try to project ourselves as more powerful and more authoritative. So we try to do this. We try to these things we do it for survival. But in today's mastery, what we are going to do is we are going to acknowledge our true selves, our masks. Am I making sense to you people? This is how we are going to undergo the process. Like, the first thing is, and uh, our true selves, which are like, which can be a victim. It's okay to be a victim. It's okay to blame. It's okay to complain, and it's okay to have self-doubt. So we will tell ourselves that it's okay, and we will acknowledge whatever be the situation where what we are. And in the second phase, we undergo something called surrender. So surrender is mostly like, surrendering to the life. So it's okay. Like, we went to with war, we went for a war towards someone, and then we will surrender. Okay, we cannot win this war. Likewise, what we will do is we have been victim in our life, we have suffered all those things, and now what we will do is we will lose the war. Instead of fighting the war, we will tell it's okay, I am ready to lose the war. And then through this we will undergo some process like acceptance. We will get into a mode of acceptance. We will accept whatever happened in our life. And this is very important because mostly what we try to do is we fight with the life. And mostly what happens is life is more powerful than us, and we lose. Eventually we lose. But here we are going to uh, voluntarily allow ourselves to fail, voluntarily allow our ego to surrender, and we will get into acceptance, and also we will get through forgiveness, and we will get through healing. These three things like acceptance, forgiveness, healing are so interconnected. And if we accept someone, we can forgive. And once we forgive, we can heal our wounds. And this is how we undergo this phase of surrender. Is that okay, friends? First two phases are very important for us to go to the next phase, which is transform phase. So this is very important phase for us. And we are always looking for getting into the victor mode or becoming a master and becoming a creator. So this is the important phase where we are going to undergo all those things. But in order to reach that phase, the first two phases are very important, where we are going to acknowledge our victim side, and also we are going to surrender. And then through this, we get into a ease of transformation. The transformation will become easier for us. And mostly when we try to, even I tried, like, when I was a victim, what I used to do is I used to tell myself, no, I am not a victim, I'm very powerful guy, I will be powerful. So this makes me, instead of a victor, I become a perpetrator. So in my life, what happened was like, okay, I was bullied a lot in my childhood. So once I reached my teenage, I started to bully others. That was a protective shield. Like, when if I hit the first, if I try to bully others, they will not bully me. Deep inside there is fear, but what I'm trying to do is, I'm hiding this fear by becoming a perpetrator, by becoming someone who I am not. So that is not the right transformation. I did not undergo the transformation in a right way. So that's why this victim perpetrator cycle continues in our life. So for us to undergo transformation, we need to go through the first two stages of acknowledge and surrender. And then we will work through these two stages and then go into transformation. And then we will do certain meditations for metamorphosis, where we will transform our inner negative aspects like anger, like pain, like fear towards love and joy and peace. And then we will understand something about meditation, because meditation can help us to stay and to sustain this transformation. And then also we will understand self realization, where we will understand some things about our own true self, who we truly are, what is our inner capacity, where we come from, and what are our hidden talents. So all these things we will undergo in this phase. And after undergoing all these things, we will get into this mode of express, where we will express ourselves as with our divinity, with our intuition, with our intelligence, with all of our divine capacities like compassion, like gratitude, like love. So all these things we will express in the life in order to become the victor and be the victor. So here we will be undergoing some stages like responsibility, self-love, and the final stage is victor mode. So this is how the journey is going to be. These are the 12 stages of metamorphosis, where we will start our journey as a victim, and then we will get into a blame game mode, and then we will get into self-doubt mode, and then acceptance, forgiveness, healing, metamorphosis, meditation, self-realization, responsibility, self-love, and then victor. So this is how we are going to undergo this journey. So these are some of the differences between victim and a victor. So victim has confusion. He don't know what to do. But victor has clarity. And he knows how to solve the problem. Victim thinks life does things to them, whereas victor thinks life happens through them. Means, like, they are the vehicle through which life happens. Like, they are the medium for things to happen. So this is the basic perspective difference between victim and victor. Like, for victim, life does something to them. Like, it is something like he's fighting with life. But victor thinks life is happening through them. So life is a friend for victor. So life is a relative, life is a supportive relative. Victim is stuck in blame game. Like, one of the biggest differentiator between victim and victor is victim is stuck in blame game. Like, he's always in complaining mode, whereas victor takes responsibility for what is happening within his life. Victim is stuck in the past, whereas victor controls the present. He takes control over his present moment, and he tries to transform it, or he tries to change it, and he tries to if he's accepting it also, it's okay, but he's mostly taking the present moment. Victim needs others. Like, they are always needy. They cannot sustain their lives independently, and they are always dependent on someone, whereas victor is needed by others. Victims are persecutors. So persecutor means, like, someone who is punishing someone thinking that they are guilty. So let's say if, even trying to put someone in jail, or making someone, like, okay, these people are murderers, so we need to put them into jail. So this is how the victim thinks, and victim is always trying to project someone as guilty. Persecution means we want to project someone as guilty. Like, you can think the example of Hitler, where he was thinking the Jews are responsible for the situations in Germany and Jews need to be punished. This is what the persecution means, where you want to punish someone deep inside. So this is how the victim thinks, and there is a lot of grudge within a victim. Whereas victors are lovers. They love people. They don't want to punish people. Victim always is crying and victor is laughing at life. Victim is helpless, whereas victor is powerful. Victim is lonely, whereas victor sees himself in everyone, like like the Twamevaham example, where he's inside everyone. That's how the victor perceives. So this is how the basic differences between a victim and victor. So how many of you want to stay in this victim mode forever in your life? So what we will do is we will understand some of the aspects of this victim consciousness, and also we will try to relate to the victim inside ourselves. We will acknowledge this victim inside ourselves. So for this, we will do a simple 5-minute meditation, okay? And try to look at your life, like since childhood. Try to scan your life and try to remember the situations where you felt like a victim, where you felt helplessness, where you felt like unable to control emotions or unable to express emotions, or where you felt little bit of rage, where you felt guilty or felt ashamed, where you felt like I'm being controlled or betrayed or being exploited or cheated or even not loved enough, not being respected, like not being understood, not given enough importance, like not cared enough, treated very badly, harassed, manipulated. So try to remember the situations where you experienced some of these aspects. Try to look at the situation. Try to look at yourself in that situation. What were you feeling? What are the feelings you were having during those situations? Try to acknowledge that feeling. If it is pain, acknowledge that pain. If it is fear, acknowledge it. If it is anger, acknowledge it. If it is confusion, acknowledge it. If it is guilt, acknowledge it. Whatever is there at that point of time, whatever is happening within you at that point of time, try to acknowledge it and try to bring it to your awareness, try to bring it to your consciousness completely. Say to yourself, it's okay to be angry, it's okay to feel pain, it's okay to feel helplessness, it's okay to have fear. Try to acknowledge your feelings, try to accept your feelings. It's okay to be whatever is happening with your life, and try to bring these feelings to the surface. Try to look at the person or the situation which had brought you into that state of victim. Maybe it's someone in your family, or maybe it's someone outside of your family, or maybe it's God, or maybe it's someone like you. Try to personify this situation or this person who had brought you into this state. Let's call him the perpetrator. So now I would like you to open your eyes, maybe take a pen and paper and try to write a letter to this perpetrator. Maybe it's your father, maybe it's your mother, maybe it's your sisters or brothers, or maybe someone in your office, maybe someone in your business, or maybe God, or maybe whoever it is, like whoever you think had made your life horrible, made your life like being controlled, or have betrayed you, or have cheated you, or have not loved you, have not taken care of you, whoever be the perpetrator, try to write a letter to them. So basically here we are trying to acknowledge our victim self, and we are trying to allow it to talk. See, the thing is, we are have been suppressing our inner emotions, and mostly, like, we don't allow ourselves to cry, and we don't allow ourselves to express our anger. We try to suppress it because these are not easily accepted by outside people, so we are trying to suppress it. This whole exercise is decondition yourself to allow it. It's a kind of catharsis where you can express it. And mostly, like, my guru Dr. Newton says, reliving is relieving. When you relive a particular situation and when you try to connect to that true emotions, you will relieve it. You will get relieved from it. So this was the whole point of this exercise, and we are also acknowledging our victim self, and we are also acknowledging our complainer self. These selves are within us. So when we are expressing, some kind of catharsis happen, and the emotion gets transformed, and that's how we are getting into more calmer space. When it is inside, when something is inside, when we are expressing, that the transformation happens, the emotion gets transformed. So we will understand more about it in our transformation section. But in our acknowledge section, we are acknowledging our true self, and we are trying to allow it to be itself. So now we will move into our next stage called self-doubt. See, mostly what happens is, in our victim stage, still the power is outside. And in our blame stage, what we are trying to do is, we are trying to acknowledge that power is outside, and we are trying to blame that power. Like whoever it might be a perpetrator, or it might be, the thing is, some things which are inside are coming to surface. And when something comes to the surface, it gives us the key to transform it, or to overcome it, to get over it. Otherwise it will be suppressed deep inside, and we will not be able to it will be haunting us unknowingly. But once we come to know what is haunting us, we can work towards it. So once we get over this blame game stage, like we will once we consciously see, like, the complainer self, and allow the complainer self to express, we will get into that third stage, where we will realize that there is something within us, like there is some self doubt within us. Like, I would like to say an example, say my life experience. Throughout my life, I was blaming my father. Like, I always think, like, because of him my life has been damaged. And then once I was trying to find solution to it, like, I went into my past lives. I was doing past life regression. I was undergoing past life regression, and also I was also undergoing life between lives regression, and I was looking at my past lives also. And then a few past lives after I looked at, and also when I looked at the life between lives, where the phase where something kind of soul contracts happen, where we invite some souls, and then we will undergo some contracts with those souls. Like, we will tell those souls to do something to us in our life, so that we can work on ourselves, we can come out of ourselves. Likewise, that kind of soul contract was happening with my father in the astral world, before taking this birth. And I was looking through it. So there, at that point of time, I was realizing that I had lot many issues within myself. Like, I had self doubt, I had jealousy, and in my past life also, I had become a victim to a particular political situation where I was murdered. So these grudges were there, all these things were there. And in order to spiritually evolve, I need certain person to challenge me, so that I can work through those things. And then these people will become trigger for these kinds of emotions to surface.